Hi, everyone. We hope all of you are great. This Night Bite is brought to you by your instructional coaches. Wearing a mask can sometimes make things a little tricky, especially when you're 6 feet apart. We've been watching teachers, administrators, support staff, parents, and most importantly, students persevere while at school. This Night Bite has some tips for communicating and connecting while wearing a mask. Recently, Heather Meadows at KST shared some tips on how communication needs to change while wearing a mask. She said speech can sound different when we're 6 feet apart. It can be harder to focus our attention when there are other sounds in the environment. Since we can't get closer or see facial expressions, Heather has some tips for teachers and students. First, Heather says no more level 1 voices. She encourages us to face each other when speaking, to slow down, and to speak in a louder voice. Using hand signals or writing responses on a whiteboard to help share ideas is a great idea. Since we can't see each other smile, we need to try to smile with our voice. Here's another way to communicate and connect. In George Couros' article, 5 Ideas for SEL and Remote Learning Environments, he wrote about using this meme check-in to get students communicating and connecting by reflecting on how they're feeling and then sharing those feelings with their friends. He said it provides for a little bit of laughter while checking on learners in their space, whether at home or at school, and it gives the teacher a quick pulse on how the class is feeling. Here are some tips from our friends at the Institute for Personalized Learning on how to improve communication. The teacher is using a help box as a visual reference to complement her oral directions. Students can use this box to get clarification or to simply check on expectations. Clear step-by-step directions are written in the help box. We can empower students by having student volunteers fill in the help box, and those students can also take on leadership roles by answering questions for classmates that still might need a little extra support. All this can be done from a distance and while wearing a mask. They can practice using eye contact, facing their classmates, and speaking in a loud voice. The help box doesn't need to be anything fancy. Picture cards can be used, or the teacher or a student can draw the simple directions and use pictures for expectations. Another way to communicate and connect is through collaborating on behavior expectations, even while wearing a mask. Students can again take on leadership roles by personally marking the CHAMPS chart using a paperclip, a star, or whatever you use in your classroom, after champing out student-led classroom expectations together. This way, the class connects by establishing agreed-upon expectations. Student leaders can model using a loud voice, facing their class, and they can even use hand gestures while communicating with their classmates. Another way to communicate and connect with a mask is to have students use the Doodle Buddy app on iPads when available. They can find the stamps that represent their thoughts, their current mood, and their level of understanding. Students can use their brain break time to choose backgrounds and the stamps in the app, giving them a voice and choice on how they want to respond. This approach saves time and encourages everyone to participate. Again, the help box can be used to show expectations. Another way for students to communicate their needs, even when they're wearing a mask, is to use this simple index card with 3 stickers and a paperclip. Students reflect on their level of understanding, advocating for their needs, and then mark the card. Teachers can do a quick visual check-in and support students when needed. Students and teachers can even decide to use I feel proficient, I feel like I'm approaching proficiency, or I need support. Each class can collaborate and decide together. Crayons and markers can be used if stickers aren't available. We may be 6 feet apart and we may be wearing masks, but if we look carefully and we learn to read facial expressions, we can communicate, connect, and take care of each other. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.